for y'all because Veterans Day is Monday.
Veterans Day. Yeah, we don't get Veterans Day.
Okay.
Us radio veterans will be on the radio
That's
on
what's
Monday.
up. Hear you on the morning workout.
Yeah. All good. But yeah, that's a great point. Some folks do have the weekend off. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about. Last time you were here, we didn't have a president-elect.
No.
Yeah.
No, we did not. And now we do. And many people...
We didn't, and now we do.
Yeah. And like you were talking about, bringing in the energy from the ancestors, we going to need that energy, to get us through. But, just thinking about the election and, it was pretty much close neck and neck the whole time in the polling. We were hoping for the best. We wasn't expecting, I guess, the swing states to fail us in the way that they did. Many people are critiquing Kamala's campaign for not really speaking to the working class, poor person.
Which no Democrat has done ever.
However, but
except Bernie Sanders, and he's not a Democrat.
Okay, wow.
He's the only one. They always talk about the middle class. I think that's a fair critique, but it's to me, any critique. I've heard critiques on the left, the right, the pundits. Any critique that doesn't factor in the elephant in the room, woman, black person, black woman, is not being honest.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, because I was thinking about that, the critique about her not speaking to the working class. And I thought about it, I'm like, wait a second, hold up, pump the brakes here. Like, she had a very detailed opportunity economy that spoke to addressing, like, how to climb your way out of poverty, like assistance for first-time home buyers, new good creation of good union jobs, having
$6,000 child credit for your first year, $6,000 for first year of having a baby. That's pro-life right there.
Right. Even trying to speak to black men specifically in a way that hasn't been done before. So, I mean, if there is any critique, maybe she didn't lift that up as much as reproductive rights. Maybe she could have gave more attention to it, but I can't.
So what does that mean? Over-reliance on white women who voted for Trump at 52%, white men at 59%. I think what I didn't see coming was the Latino men breaking for Trump. But here's the thing. I'm hearing more and more conversation about how they cheated, and I'm not going to be them and say stop the steal if I don't see evidence. But I don't think Elon Musk and Trump are that slick. So I think if, in fact, they did cheat, it's going to come out. Why was Elon Musk calling Vladimir Putin, several times before the election?
Oh, the bomb threats.
And you've got all the... I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the possibility of voter manipulation, the fact that the entire map is suddenly red. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, a lot of people think that. It's pretty suspect the way, he won the popular vote. Republicans haven't won the popular vote in... 50 years? I'll say this. I'm not going to run around and, say stop the steal and storm the Capitol. I will keep my eye on it. And they are liars and manipulators. And suddenly you've got all the tech bros, the Peter Thiels and the Elon Musks and the algorithm kings and the Russians who are kings of manipulating elections and everything else. I'll say this. I'll be keeping an eye on it. And, when the lionist, cheatingest, shadiest people of all time pull out an unexpected and broad victory, it's definitely worth looking at.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Dominique, that's nothing new in this country when people who are in power are scared of losing the power. We always know they move the goalposts back a little further.
Yeah, that's true. Not only that, Sherri, until I see, because it's going to start coming out, that things always do. Well, not always, but often. But until I see that proof, I'm going to move on the assumption that I now live in a sea of white supremacists. And I basically, stick to the coast. Says the girl who's going down south to see her family soon, but still.
I mean, yeah, but it's kind of crazy, though, when you think about how many non-white people voted for the Republicans.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something else going on, too, in the fact that, if you feel that the economy is not working for you, instead of pointing to arbitrary economy, trends, they like to point to individuals. That the othering, they were very effective at othering in their ads.
For sure.
You know,
Ground game too.
yeah.
Ground game too. And there's a lot of resentment, because a lot, I think, between different communities, and that was exploited. And certainly, but, for right now, assuming that the polls were accurate and that they didn't cheat, which is a big assumption, I think it's a FAFO moment for a lot of these people suffering the illusion of inclusion. F around and find out, because if that's what Paul Mooney used to call it, because if all these Latinos really did vote for Trump,
yeah,
and they're just thinking the people he's going to deport ain't me or my family, I'm sorry, don't come crying to me if that's who you voted for.
I mean, unfortunately, there's probably nothing that could be done, like, even in the face of reality. Maybe if you go back and try to show people, see, this is what you thought was going to happen. This is what actually happened. It seems like that the desire to be included in that category is so strong.
I mean, it's like Stockholm syndrome.
It's like traumatic and like, it is deep seated, more mental than actual like reality. Like, it's like a
mental health disorder.
I mean, seriously, like you're not really looking at the facts. You're looking at like a delusional sense of belonging to a group that basically outwardly stated and demonized and villainized people from your culture, and
it's massa, we sick.
Right, and then look at you, and even with
massa, we sick. Massa, we got too many immigrants. Massa,
look at 50 Cent and Ray J.
But they're rich, allegedly. So they don't give a F about you, me, or the homeless man in the street.
Right.
They just worried about their money. So that's logical. Remember when the LA Times and the Washington Post and the LA Times and USA Today refused to endorse Kamala Harris. And what did I say? I said the billionaires had a secret meeting.
Oh.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
The billionaires had a secret meeting. We are going to win. Get on board now, or you go on the enemies list.
Like, how can I get even richer than I already am? And you've seen
they have.
Yeah, you've seen how the IPO, the stocks through the roof, that they made billions more overnight.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't know how this economy could keep working in the way that it's doing. I mean, we'll see. But
the oligarchs, I mean, look, we've always had an oligarchical streak. But it's so ironic that the critique of Kamala Harris is she didn't talk to the working class, which, like I said, Democrats haven't ever really done, at least not in my lifetime. But yet the billionaires, the oligarchs, actually won. Because they have lied to the middle class.
Yeah,
and the working class.
And I'm not going to blame Kamala. She ran a great campaign in this short amount of time.
Yeah, only at 100 and some days.
Right.
I think she ran a near perfect campaign.
Exactly.
I would have liked her to talk about the working class. I would have liked Biden to talk about the working class. I would have loved it if Obama talked about the working class.
Yeah.
But look, I have a plan.
Okay.
And I know you have some things, you have some notes, so I definitely want to get to those. But my plan, we got a lot of victories that happened all across the country and right here in LA. And so I know my Talk Everybody Off the Ledge Friday plan is we're going to focus on some of our victories today.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. That's why this country is so weird like that, right? It's like we're reminded that, we have a lot of racism, but then we also are reminded that we have people power and hope.
I think it's so funny, Sherri, because there's 2 articles in the LA Times today talking about how white women are the reason why Trump is the president right now.
I mean, I don't want to go that
far. But I took a whole bunch. Well, but that's what the numbers show.
But think about all the white women who didn't vote for him. I don't want to overgeneralize all white women.
See, that's what happened. Like I say something like that on election night. Some people get mad at me on my Instagram. Some people on my Instagram, people in real life, a few people stopped following me. Some people DM'd me. Some people are on the timeline. I had a few calls, people being offended. But don't be offended. That's what the data shows. If 52% of white women voted for Trump,
overwhelmingly,
59% of white men voted for Trump. then that means you guys didn't secretly disagree with the men in your lives. It means you prioritized your whiteness over your bodily autonomy. And here's the thing, that's what history shows, going all the way back to when white women had the vote. And even though white women and black women fought together to get the vote, and then they gave it to white women in this country actively fought against black women getting the vote. And we did not get it until decades later. So I think 40 years later, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not saying I'm vilifying all white women. I'm not saying that. We live in L.A. Most of the white women here did not vote for Trump.
Most times. Yeah.
But the point is, if you don't face your history, then we're going to keep repeating this. And what I'm saying, white ladies, women, white girls, go do the work. Go educate your cousins and sisters and aunties.
That's the missing
We're tired of it.
That's the
Go
missing
do
link.
it. It's not our job. It's your job. Fix that.
Yes, absolutely. Like being that there is, we don't want to overgeneralize white women. Like all white women voted for Trump. Like I mean, there's like many who did not vote for him.
Well, if 52% did, 48% didn't.
But if you don't think that's okay, go ahead. Like you said, do the work and within your own community, among your own family members and friends, and do that political education, because we should not have the burden of doing it alone as African Americans. That's all I guess the request is, thank you. We appreciate you for doing the right thing and not voting for those values that are divisive and oppressive, but we need you to take it a step further next go round.
Yeah, well, right now, because I mean, we don't know if this guy will ever leave power. And if I was Trump, I'd be looking over my shoulder right now, because if you're Vladimir Putin's puppet, you might not last long. And for all we know, J.D. Vance already has a Neuralink chip in his brain, is being remote controlled by Elon Musk.
No. I mean. It could be. It's so funny. Yeah, it's so funny and sad that all that could be secretly true. And Trump never stopped campaigning, to be honest.
Nope.
He never stopped raising money.
Nope.
You got
never
Kamala.
Stopped grifting.
Yeah, you got Kamala, who had a 107-day campaign. Trump ain't never stopped campaigning since 2020.
Right. 4 years of it, yeah. Well, like I said, when we come forward, we're going to go over your notes and we're going to talk about our victories, which are many. Yeah. Many. Okay, that's coming. And you're invited in, 800-920-1580. We got a lot to talk about, KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze Fabric Spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Yeah. We were trying to do good news, and then me and Sherri went down the bad news rabbit hole again, talking about Prop 6 getting defeated, which is just despicable on a Freedman Friday. Y'all don't think we should end involuntary servitude in California.
Wait, but it looks like it. Yes.
Where are you? Are you looking at LA County?
Yes.
It won in LA County. It lost in the state of California. It's a statewide initiative. If we were the Republic of LA, we would have Prop 6.
See, look, State Measure 6. It says State Measure 6. And I'm looking on LA County. Oh.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, no. This is not good that they don't show the statewide data.
No, they only show you. Yeah.
Oh, my word. So I've been looking at all these measures wrong then. But if I was looking at them.
Yeah. Prop 6.
Where do I find the state?
Oh, the Secretary of State website.
OMG.
Yeah, that's...
I will never do that again.
Well, it's good when you look at LA County measures. Like you look at Measure A1. Yay, good news.
Yay.
We decided to keep trying to keep our unhoused folks off the streets. Measure A1. Yeah, if it was LA, Prop 6 would have won. Yeah. N36 won, but we said we were going to focus on good news around here.
The right to constitutional marriage.
Yeah, that one won. Yeah. Prop 3, which put marriage in our Constitution. I mean, however, just like enshrining abortion in our Constitution, if a president, say DJT, decided to do a national ban, that overrides what our Constitution says anyway. So that might be an exercise in futility. But it did win.
Wait a second. Did 33 win rent control?
No, it lost. I mean, this was a major backlash election for Cali. Prop 36 law won, which takes us back to the bad old days of three strikes. Nathan Hochman won by a landslide. And did you see, so much for my good news.
Oh, wow.
Did you see that he has already made a speech saying that he's going to do everything he said he wasn't going to do on this show? And people were wondering why I was pushing back on him, because I knew he wasn't telling the truth. And his first statement is, we're bringing back the death penalties. We're going to use gang enhancements to throw the book at everyone, and we're going to be prosecuting more petty, small crimes and misdemeanors. So everything he said on this show that he was not going to do, he announced on day one of his confirmation as being DA-elect that he is going to do.
Yeah. You know, some people deserve that, like, you gotta be smarter than the wink and the nod, the wink and the handshake. People been getting bamboozled for millions of years, off of false promises and of things that they shouldn't believe. I mean, you got this person that came out of nowhere, and you look at their, one of the primary indicators of what somebody is going to do is like what they have done in the past.
Right.
Who they've been affiliated in the past with, and, that's, I guess, when people voted for mayor, they were wise enough to know that Rick Caruso has never done none of the things he said he was going to do and didn't vote for him. Just, despite him saying
Well,
things.
also that's city of L.A.
Yeah.
Once again, with Hockman, you're
county.
talking about the whole county, so you got
Which is
more
a lot of
conservative.
red.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got a lot more red. Just like, California always says a bipolar state. You got a whole red interior, and, the blue is in the cities. The Dems, the progressives are in the cities.
I mean, I'm wondering if the people who voted yes for him and these new announcements that he mentioned that he was going to do, is it going to impact them or their loved ones in a way?
Absolutely, it will.
And do they care?
There's so many delusional black people who voted for him.
But it's questionable, right? Like, yeah, they probably see the smasher grabs and they probably think, OMG, I want to be safe. I want to be safe. And so we're going to vote for him because he's going to get rid of all this and keep us safe. Let's check it out. Let's see. Let's see if these things.
We've tried that already.
Exactly.
We tried it in the 90s. I was there. Okay, look, we said we're doing a terrible job focusing on what's good.
I'm sorry.
and Willie Fraser's trying to talk us off the ledge from the chat and making a good point about, some of the wins.
Okay, let's hear them.
Yeah, some of the wins that we had. We had some good wins across the nation. He's talking about Monique Worrell, who won her seat back in Florida. This is somebody that was fired by Ron DeSantis.
Yep.
Replaced by somebody else that was chosen by Ron DeSantis, and then she beats the guy appointed by DeSantis in an election. You gotta love that.
And in her victory photo, she had the power fist up.
Yeah. Well, hello. I mean, you gotta love that.
Yeah.
That's resilience. I mean, look. With the good comes the bad. You saw Letitia James in New York saying, "Oh, we're still going after Trump."
Oh yeah, and that guy who might be Attorney General insulted her, but that's okay.
Well, he didn't just
tough.
insult her; he threatened her. He said, "We will put your fat behind in jail."
Yeah,
that's what he
said.
That
is disgusting.
And he didn't use the word behind.
Right.
No, it's very disgusting. You can see they are ramping up to target black women.
Man, it's kind of crazy because, it is reminiscent of the past where people were outwardly racist and what they would say and do in the media and in actual life. But then again, we're not in that time, right? Like, things are not as bad. So it's like wondering, juxtaposing like the past and the present, what's legal and what's not legal, and then you have these actions. It's like how, like, there has to. I'm confident that there will be some accountability for doing things that are outright violent and illegal to Americans. I don't think that people like with that mindset could get away with as much as they did back in Reconstruction, Civil War.
Okay, hold that thought. We got news, traffic, and sports. I think you're right. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The White House defends President Biden's timing in exiting the race after Kamala Harris's defeat. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre stated that any speculation now is just second-guessing. Some Democrats, however, believe that he should have quit earlier to give Harris more time to campaign. A federal report reveals Hurricane Helene caused significant damage to western North Carolina, affecting 822,000 acres and resulting in $214 million in timber losses, particularly in Buncombe and McDowell counties. The world's first wooden satellite has been launched into space. The palm-sized satellite, which was built by Japanese researchers, will be flown to the International Space Station and later released into orbit about 250 miles above Earth. And a new Star Wars trilogy is being developed by Lucasfilm, with Simon Kinberg set to write and produce. Other Star Wars projects, including those by rapper and actor Donald Glover, are also in development. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Shop early, save big all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Get a free Select tool when you buy a Select battery or combo kit, because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/7 through 11/20. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers are planning to make Mookie Betts a permanent infielder next season. The 32-year-old Betts split time as shortstop and right field during the 2024 season. Betts, the only African-American player on the Dodgers roster, will likely be moved to second base. The Dodgers have a three-man rotation at shortstop with Gavin Lux, Tommy Edman, and Miguel Rojas. Doug Williams is being considered for the Pro Football Hall of Fame for the class of 2025. Williams is the first black quarterback to play in a Super Bowl. He led the Washington Redskins to a 42-10 win over Denver in Super Bowl 22 in San Diego in 1988. Williams is also the first black quarterback to be selected in the first round of the NFL Draft. Williams was a first-round pick of Tampa Bay in 1979. Magic Johnson's NFL team, the Washington Commanders, are 7-2 for the first time since 1996. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your vote matters. It helps you fight for the things you care about, like protecting Social Security and supporting family caregivers. Voters 50 and over are the most influential voting bloc. You have the power to make candidates focus on the issues you care about, so you need reliable information to make sure your voice is heard. AARP's election guide has the most up-to-date information about when, where, and how to vote. Get the facts at aarp.org/election guides. Paid for by AARP.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Bad Ash Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, that's true, Sherri Bell. If that's the result, if that's really what happened, that means everybody except black people pretty much lost their minds. Everybody except black people has joined a cult. Really. I mean, because black men and women did not believe the hype, voted overwhelmingly for Harris.
Mm-hmm.
But Latinos went, if you know, there was no evil plot by Elon Musk, Vladimir Putin, Trump, and Peter Thiel to throw an algorithm on our voting machines. If that didn't happen, and I have no proof so far that it did, then that means everybody except black people pretty much lost their damn minds.
You know, I think the thing is too, it's like, you know, power is power. You envy power. And when you think about us black people, we're not able to assimilate into that whole idea. You know, we're not able to, how can I say this? Our proximity to whiteness is further away than anyone else's.
Well, yeah, because, right. Because they enslaved us. Hello. Paul Lee says Jewish men and Jewish women both voted heavy Harris as well. I haven't seen those numbers. And my understanding is that, if I remember correctly, I haven't seen updated numbers that Asians also voted for Harris. So, in majorities. But, so, you know, the illusion of inclusion. Anyway, back to our good news. Let's talk about L.A. Let's talk about Sade El-Hawari. Woo! She's going to the assembly.
Yeah.
And not only that, she kicked butt.
Yeah, really. So she ran a good ground campaign. Like, reminds me of Obama's ground campaign, you know, just was really heavy in it. And
that's that community coalition like stuff. That's what they do.
Yeah.
But to be clear, I mean, they were worried that everyone thought that was a super tight race.
Mm-hmm.
Martinez, Efren Martinez, who she defeated, had police money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had all the dirty money.
Oil, tobacco.
And that's one thing I love about city of LA. We're like, yeah, okay, we see where your money's going. She got close to 60%.
That is overwhelmed. That is, man.
That's called
if you gonna
win.
If you gonna win, that's the way to win, right there.
Yeah. So that's good news.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a Freedman Friday, and I've had several conversations with Assembly Member Elect El-Hawari, and she's very much, I think, on board with reparations. I feel solid about that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a win for us.
You got her on tape.
That's true. Now that you mention it, and then I think Kevin De Leon is getting his butt kicked.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you know, I'm happy about that because, you know, despite calls for him to resign, he thought he was going to be slick and still stay up in there. I mean, you know, it's kind of sad because that's, you know, that's how you really feel and that's how your policies move. And so it's good to have somebody out of there that, you know, we had the pleasure of really hearing how you really think and how you really plan to move your policy. We got exposure to that. And so even with that exposure, there was some concern that he might remain in his office, and it looks like he's not going to be retaining that seat. And it's funny.
I feel like it's been called. That's what I'm looking for, because I was on Jurado's page, and she's saying that they've won. So,
okay,
I'm feeling like the race has been called.
But check it out, though. You see the stark difference in the two tape leaks, right? Like you got Kevin De Leon on tape saying how he want to disenfranchise black Angelinos, and then you have her on tape, you know, quoting Eazy-E. I mean, You know, and Eazy-E's quote was in response to abuse of power and racial profiling, right?
Not only that, the person in the audience who asked the question worked for Kevin De Leon and was sent to set her up.
Industry plant.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Okay, so the LA Times is saying with Jurado's victory, LA's audio leak scandal takes down another Latino politician. They're talking about how Latinos only, don't have enough seats on the LA City Council because Jurado is Filipino, and she will be the first Filipino ever elected to the LA City Council.
Well, I mean, you have Ulysses, you have Hugo Soto Martinez.
Yeah, they're talking about in proportion to their
population.
Yeah.
I mean, that,
well, then go get it done.
Yeah.
Go campaign, I mean, look, it'll happen. Because Latinos are the majority in LA County.
Right. And
by a lot.
Right. And I could confidently say that, just living out here all my life, that the representatives of the districts in South LA, like the 9th district, the 8th district, the 10th district, I've seen and observed the policy making that has been happening over, the past 2 decades. And I could confidently say that they benefit Black and brown people. Like the Black people who hold those seats, and what they've been doing in their ability,
absolutely,
they do look out for all folks. So to say that that the representation is not there is not tantamount to you not getting the goods and services that you need. Not to say that there's any funny business going on as to why these seats aren't there. Like you said,
look at what we do. We organize, we vote. Black people have, one of the things that saved us in the city of LA is we vote above our weight class. We punch up. We don't punch down, we punch up.
Right.
We 8% of the population, and typically we vote well over double digits in terms of being the percentage of the electorate, more like between 10 and 20%. So we vote.
But that LA Times think they slick, though, because that article is divisive.
Yeah, it is.
It's very divisive to say that another Latino loses power. That is very negative, and it's not okay in this current climate to even say those things.
True. That's true. I mean, they could have had the headline, LA gets its first Filipino city council member, because we actually have a very large Filipino population here in LA, and they've never had a city council seat. Yeah.
And then when you look at city council, I mean, it's becoming more representative it's becoming more diverse. Look at Nithya Raman, and there's other people on there that are multicultural, so you can't frame it that way. It's not fair.
Yeah. Well, I think that's right. I mean, I think that's what we've seen. We've seen the problem with these billionaires owning newspapers. And I know that the LA Times has a divide between a very conservative newsroom and a more supposedly progressive editorial board. But yet they still wouldn't endorse Kamala Harris. So, follow the money.
Yeah, because I was thinking that too. Like when back when they were laying off LA Times staff, I'm like, why would a billionaire want a business, like a newspaper that isn't really profitable, and you have to lay people off, and it's like a digital climate? Like, why would they want that? And now you see,
why would Jeff Bezos want the Washington Post?
Control the media.
Yeah. Why would Elon Musk want Twitter?
Right.
Because they're controlling the messaging. We're talking with Sherri Bell. That means it's Friday. Woo! We got more victories to celebrate, and we will continue with that. You're welcome in 800-920-1580. We're unapologetically progressive, and we're going to stay that way. KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Have you heard of the 50-30-20 rule? This can help you spend and save your money wisely. So, how does it work? Distribute your dollars into 3 buckets. 50% towards needs, 30% towards your wants, and 20% goes to savings. Use this tool to help your journey to financial success. Sponsored by JP Morgan Chase & Company.
Add confidence to every holiday adventure and get it done with a rugged and capable Chevy truck or SUV. Find your red tag. Get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select popular Chevy models when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Offer available on all 2025 Equinox and 2024 Silverado, Equinox EV, Blazer EV, and Silverado EV models. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 22.2%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 12/2/24.
Asthma Peak Week is almost here, September 15th through 21st, and it's time to pay attention. Peak Week is a critical time of the year for asthma flare-ups and can lead to hospitalization. Did you know that Black Americans are approximately 5 times more likely than white Americans to be hospitalized for asthma? Stay aware, have a plan, and spread the word on Asthma Peak Week. For more active asthma care tips, visit luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca. Hey, LA, it's time to step up and be a climate change hero. Go Metro and help us shape a better future for all Angelinos. From enhancing our diverse communities to preserving our planet, Metro is dedicated to making a positive impact with every ride. Start your journey at metro.net.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio. KBLA Talk 1580.
Sherri Bell is here with me, and we said we were going to talk about victories, but you did send me this DM on Instagram talking about Trump's promises, what he did versus what he didn't do. He kept last time 23% of his promises, according to this thing you sent.
Oh, well, see,
we can only hope. Like I said, one of my close relatives said to me, "Do you see a wall?
Right?
Has he built a wall?
Right?
Did Mexico pay for it? But yet he did overturn Roe v. Wade. He did stack the Supreme Court. So
yeah.
I think we can safely assume that, certain things like rounding up the unhoused and putting them in carceral tent cities is probably a promise he would keep.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, a lot of millionaires, billionaires, like fun nonprofit organizations that do a lot of good on the ground work across the country. And so being that we are in like the fight of our lives for humanity at the moment, I'm thinking my thinking based on past experience is that when you look at like organizations like Community Coalition here in LA and like Scope and like other nonprofits were birthed out of heavy oppressive conditions and heavy organizing. And my thinking is hopefully that we will see an investment in on the ground organizing efforts that help shape policy and programs here for people who are targeted by administrations that want to keep status quo, want to keep the wealth gap wide. So that's what my hope is that that even though this agenda that is put forth is very, how can I say, like very, what is the word? Like I don't want to say depressing, but like disheartening. I think that in the past, what our past shows us is that when we are faced with we at our breaking point, right? Like they say, riots is the language of the unheard. When we just feel so unheard, we can't take it anymore, and we get together and we try to do what we can to try to over and change things. And I think that that's been our history. And I think we should lean into that, like lean into our resilience and how we fought back against even worse stuff that has happened.
Yeah, well, I think that's right. That means we have to pay attention to what has happened. So, and you said, this isn't 1850, so they won't be able to go as far. I think we're already seeing the climate. I think they are going to try it, and I believe there's going to be resistance. I believe we might have massive protests or a mini revolution or maybe a whole revolution. We'll see.
Right.
When people start seeing the real life manifestations of what these promises are, even 23% of that would be all bad.
Yeah, I mean, and even though Trump did win the popular vote,
supposedly,
allegedly, in some of those states that he was expected to win, I feel like we did pick up a lot of allies along the way in this Kamala campaign that are going to be willing to throw down with us in the face of this administration. So.
Well, Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar were reelected. Speaking of wins, they are the first two Muslim women to serve in Congress. Rashida Tlaib heavily targeted for elimination, the only Palestinian in Congress. So I put that in the good news column.
Yeah. Fani Willis,
she was reelected, and she. But we'll see, because we're still waiting for a judge to decide whether or not she can even work on that case. The Trump legal team saying she should not be able to because she slept with someone. If that's the case, you shouldn't be president. But anyway, and then if they take her off the case, it pretty much disappears because it's unlikely a prosecutor's going to take that up in this environment.
Right. But I just like the fact that she got reelected after going after him for breaking the law. And then, we were talking about like national, but like locally, like we got a lot of good measures passed, like around ethics reform and, redistricting to try to ensure that, folks are fairly represented, based on their demographics.
That is a big win. That is partly the antidote to those secret tapes.
Right. So, we did win some good reforms because, in policy and we can't ignore how different policies and things like that affect demographics differently, right? So when you think about redistricting, we got to look through a lens of like, okay, who's being affected by this and how, right? How are women, how are men, how are Black women, how are Latina women being affected? And you got to try to close those gaps. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by having a seat at the table and ensuring that resources get to those who need it the most.
Yeah. And Gavin Newsom calling a special session, trying to get us ready to fight off the Trump administration. I think that's smart.
That's smart, but it ain't smart that people know about it. That should have been more covert.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you can call a special session and people don't notice, but I mean, look, we fought off the last Trump administration, and I think that's dope that the governor's like, okay, we're ready for you, even if he's doing it because he's running in 2028. It doesn't matter. It works to our advantage.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
running for president, he can't run for governor. He'll be termed out.
Right. And much as people want to like have vendettas against California, because we're like super progressive, more so, I guess, whatever. Like we did our part by Kamala, but they need us, man. Yeah. Like California, you can't we the fifth, the ninth largest economy in the world,
fifth,
whatever.
I think.
Fifth,
either fifth or fourth. And I'll tell you what. That's why I think we should secede. Just reparations. Just give us California. Right. All y'all rednecks. You got 49 other states to choose from. And we'll just make it the Republic of California.
Man, that would be something because we are really big. But but no, you can't.
Sherri, you're so funny. When I say something crazy, Sherri's just like, yeah, well, that could happen. Anyway.
Oh man.
But yeah, you're right. I'm super happy that Measure A passed. I mean,
yeah, we need that.
We're sending mixed signals. It's like we're going to lock you up and throw away the key, Prop 36. We want you to work for free in prison. We've elected a district attorney who's going to supply that free prison labor to the mass incarceration system, but we're going to feed you and get you housing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it was so much on, but this was like a very stressful end of the year, man. It was a lot of things that we had to vote for that were like super detrimental to like generations to come.
I mean, no, real talk, because now the two old conservatives on the Supreme Court will probably be forced to retire, and Trump will replace them with young conservatives, little J.D. Vance clones, which means the Supreme Court can stay conservative for generations.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about generations, but at least another couple decades.
Yeah, that kind of begs the question about how they got these lifetime appointments.
Yeah, well, that needs to be changed, but it won't be changed. And now it's looking like they're going to win the House of Representatives. So, to the point about keeping promises, he tried to cut Social Security several times when he was in office last time, but we had the Congress to stop it. Without the Congress to stop it, I fear some of us who have been paying into Social Security for our whole lives may never get to take advantage of that.
It makes my blood boil. And you know what? I want some data on the salary of who voted for Trump. If you are poor and you at the bottom of the I need to know if you are a low wage earner. I want to know how many of those people voted for him, because I'm looking at his policy proposals and I don't see anything in there on how anything he's proposing is going to help you. He want to raise tariffs. I don't know how that's going to affect my pocketbook.
Well, we know everything's going to cost more. We know that. And, LA Times has, why Latino men voted for Trump? It's the economy, stupid. I beg to differ. It's the white supremacy, stupid. It's the illusion of inclusion. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we got a minute left. Time always flies when you're here, Sherri. What you want to say?
Well, I want to say that, I want us to just lean into the fact that this ain't our first rodeo with things of this nature. I know there are some people who probably been through this once or twice in their lifetime. I want us to stay optimistic, stay woke. We're going to reclaim the word woke. Yep. Okay. And we're going to be the president of our own house. How about that?
Well, Starving Myself to Life says it's not possible for a president to cut Social Security. He can propose it to Congress like he did repeatedly while he was president. Mm-hmm. And if he has the power, it looks like he's going to have the Senate and the House, he most surely can get it cut and then sign it into law. We shall see. But Sherri Bell, it's always great to talk with you. Our optimism was intermittent at best. But hey, Kevin De Leon got stomped out by 10 points.
That's good, people.
Go Gerardo.
Power to the people.
Go Gerardo. And then it's another progressive voice on our city council.
Which we need.
Yeah, which LA City Council is getting pretty darn progressive, people.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing we can say. because everything else.
Yeah. Just circle your wagon. Stay in LA. Sherri Bell, thank you so much.
Thank you
News,
for having
traffic,
me.
and sports. Then it's reparations time. What time is it? It's reparations time.
Whoop,
KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The White House defends President Biden's timing in exiting the race after Kamala Harris's defeat. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre stated that any speculation now is just second guessing. Some Democrats, however, believe that he should have quit earlier to give Harris more time to campaign. A federal report reveals Hurricane Helene caused significant damage to western North Carolina, affecting 822,000 acres and resulting in $214 million in timber losses, particularly in Buncombe and McDowell counties. The world's first wooden satellite has been launched into space. The palm-sized satellite, which was built by Japanese researchers, will be flown to the International Space Station and later released into orbit about 250 miles above Earth. And a new Star Wars trilogy is being developed by Lucasfilm, with Simon Kinberg set to write and produce. Other Star Wars projects, including those by rapper and actor Donald Glover, are also in development. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Shop early, save big all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Get a free Select tool when you buy a Select battery or combo kit, because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/7 through 11/20. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Bronny James will make his G League debut Saturday with the South Bay Lakers. South Bay plays the Utah Jazz's G League affiliate, the Salt Lake